Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring the evil elder god Bone Shaper Shinnok. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Bone Shaper Shinnok to the test. Bone Shaper Shinnok guys was one of the first challenge characters in MK Mobile, and his release date was the 31st of March 2016 for the original price of 385 souls. So let us check whether he is worth that price. His attack is 43,470, which is the 34th highest in the game and 13th highest in the Gold League. The hit points, they are only 79,488, which is the 43rd highest in MK Mobile and the 24th among the Gold characters. However, the toughness is pretty high, it is 45,360, which is, attention, the 17th highest in the game, but the highest among all Gold characters. The recovery is pretty high as well, it is 45,360 again, which is once again the 17th highest overall and the 2nd highest in the Gold League. And the power generation is just 100%. So for his stats, Bone Shaper Shinnok gets 16.7 out of 28 possible points. Special one of Shinnok guys is called Crushing Shoulder, and it is one of those abilities that actually trigger Bone Shield every single time. It is very annoying, but after all, the talent itself is called Shinnok Teaching, so they might be related somehow. Anyways, what you need to know about the ability is that first, it can be completely blocked by the opponent, it has Dispel as buff, it can be cast from distance, however the first mini attack will miss, which is not always a big deal. The ability is lethal, it consists of 3 mini attacks, and it has the horizontal or vertical swipe as mini-game. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the special attack is unfortunately very low, it is just 14,345, which is the 46th highest in the game and the 24th in the Gold League, and the maximum damage is 28,690, again the 46th highest overall and the 25th among the Gold characters. Once again, the special attack can be completely blocked by the opponent, it has Dispel as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini attacks, and it has the horizontal or vertical swipe as minigame. So for his special one, Bone Shaper Shinnok gets 7.7 out of 13 possible points. Conquer All. This is the name of special 2 of Bone Shaper Shinnok, and to be honest, this is the ability that you're going to be using most of the time when you're playing this character. What you need to know about it is that first, again, it can be blocked by the opponent, it has Blind as debuff, it can be cast from distance, however the first mini hit will miss, which is about 20% of the total damage. The ability is lethal, it consists of 5 mini attacks, and it has again the horizontal or vertical swipe as minigame. When it comes to damage, unfortunately the situation doesn't change. Again, we have very low minimum damage of just 35,862, which is the 42nd highest in the game and the 18th in the Gold League, and the maximum damage is 71,725, the 45th highest overall and the 19th among the Gold characters. Once again, the special attack can be blocked by the opponent, it has Blind as debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 5 mini attacks, and it has the horizontal or vertical swipe as minigame. So for his special 2, Bone Shaper Shinnok gets only 9.5 out of 19 possible points. The X-ray of Bone Shaper Shinnok guys is called the Devil's Hand, and quite honestly it is one of the best looking X-rays in the game. Unfortunately for it though, it has very underwhelming debuff Curse, however it can be cast from distance, which is still something good. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-ray is just 86,070, which is the 53rd highest overall and the 26th among the Gold characters. Once again, the special attack can be cast from distance and it has Curse as debuff. So for his X-ray, Bone Shaper Shinnok gets 2.8 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets for his special attacks adds up to 20 out of 36 possible. There is one keyword that best describes the basic attacks of Bone Shaper Shinnok, and it is average. He has average speed, average chaining, he doesn't push opponents back if they're blocking, which kind of leaves him vulnerable for counterattack. At the same time, his animations and recovery speed are average, so really nothing else I can say about his basic attacks, guys. He can still make it without block breaking gear if you time his basic attacks very good, but if you're not certain about it, then I would definitely recommend giving him a block breaking equipment, because he will need it. So for his basic attacks, I'll give him 6.5 out of 10 possible points. The passive of Shinnok, guys, is called God of Death, and here it is what it does. For each defeated fighter on any team, Shinnok attack increases by 25%. On any enemy resurrect, Shinnok attack increases by 25%. Now, this passive is good on paper, and quite honestly, I really like the passive. The problem is that Shinnok base attack is really low, so I would say he gets really strong if his attack is boosted by at least 50%. And you have to wait a lot for this to happen. There will be cases when Shinnok will be really strong, but the game will be already 3 versus 1, so this doesn't matter anyways. And the problem is that we have so many other characters, most of them diamonds, but still we can consider some top tier gold characters that are better than Shinnok, even with 50% buff, and they're better than him at minute 1, from the beginning of the game. And in the case of Shinnok, you have to wait, and you have to wait a lot so that he can get really strong. And that's the main issue with that character. Quite honestly, I like him. I really enjoy playing a team with Shinnok when I just want to have fun. But in general, there are just better options. Obviously, this guy cannot be a support. He's the main damage dealer, judging from his passive, of course. So there are just better alternatives. Once again, good passive, cool passive. But one, he has bad stats, so he really needs his passive in order to get even serviceable. Second, both of his special attacks can be blocked, he doesn't even have unblockable special attack. And third, once again, you have better alternatives. I would say that Assassin Jade or even MK11 Jade with 1 evasion is better than Shinnok with 2 stacks of his passive. So, once again, no need to pick him over some other options. In a nutshell, if you're the impatient type of guy who wants to finish hard battle as fast as possible, or for some reason you're in a hurry, then Bone Shaper Shinnok is not your character. However, if you want to take your time, grab a beer, just enjoy the game and have fun, then you can consider Shinnok. He's not that bad. So I'll be giving him 13 out of 20 points for his passive. I'm sorry, I really believe that his passive is okay and it works for him, but once again we have better and faster alternatives. He is a dual class character, so he gets 2 points for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. And what should be the final verdict of Bone Shaper Shinnok? Let's take a look at the bigger picture once again. He has, I would say, low stats for a gold character. Even though he excels at toughness and recovery, really those two are not the most important stats in the game, we have to agree on that. In addition, his special attacks are not really the best. He has underwhelming debuffs and buffs on them, and we have to keep in mind that both of his abilities can be blocked, which is never a good thing. His passive can be situationally good, but it takes a lot of time for it to start adding any value to the team in general. And his basic attacks are average. He doesn't really excel at punching the enemies. So when it comes to my personal opinion on the character, quite honestly, I prefer Bone Shaper Shinnok to Vengeful Shinnok. Even though Vengeful Shinnok has the better damage and the better stats, I really enjoy playing Bone Shaper Shinnok. I don't know why, I like his X-Ray and I like teaming him up with other two characters that are not really that popular and a lot of people actually hate them, but we're going to get to that later. I don't know why, guys. In general, I kind of like this character. He is nothing special, I fully admit that, but at the same time he's fun to play and he in a strange way appeals to me. So I'll be giving him 1.5 out of 3 possible points. And with my subjective points, he's going to score 59.7 out of 102, and we can label him as a kind of good character. In fact, he ranks 43rd on our standings, just above Venomous Devourer and just below Shokan Warrior Kintaro. Once again, Bone Shaper Shinnok, final verdict is kind of good. Bone Shaper Shinnok, guys, is a serviceable opener by virtue of his special 1 buff, Dispel, because for example if he gets snared or on fire he can dispel the debuff. However, if you have any other options, please use them. He's not really the greatest opener, he can do it, but he's not the best. When it comes to his easy matchups, I would say that he loves playing against characters that can resurrect multiple times, such as for example Slasher Jason, and of course characters that can resurrect others, such as Warlock Quan Chi, because every time when a character on enemy team resurrects, the base attack of Shinnok increases by 25% and he loves that. And of course when it comes to the tough matchups, the usual suspects: Assassin Jade, MK11 Jade, Ravenous Melina, Punkasi, and so on and so on. Okay guys, we got to the items. You know, every time when I'm playing Shinnok, I recognize that his base attack is really low, therefore he absolutely requires the Rat Hammer. Without the Rat Hammer, if you intend to use him without any deaths on any team, he won't be dealing any damage, unfortunately. But with the Rat Hammer, the picture changes. When it comes to the armor, I always give him Shao Kahn's helmet. It gives critical hit chance, because as you know, Shinnok's hit points are really low, and when it comes to the accessory, it all depends on your playstyle. If you think that you can play this character without Block Breaker, then give him Soul Medallion, but if you think that you cannot do that, then give him Vial of Infinite Blood. Finally guys, we got to my favorite part of this review, the teams. In my opinion, there is one best Shinnok team, and it is Bone Shaper Shinnok, Pharaon Ermac, and Dark Lord Kotal Kahn. Those are 3 characters that nobody plays with, those are 3 characters that nobody likes, but together they form a great team. So if you happen to have those 3 guys at good fusions, please team them up and assert dominance all over Faction Wars. Quite honestly, the only drawback of this team is that it takes a lot of time to finish every battle, but still it is very safe team and very fun to play. And if you're asking me if I can recommend any other team including Shinnok, I would say he can team up in literally every team in the game, but I would always recommend to team him up with Pharaon Ermac and Elder God Kenshi. The first one because he amplifies the passive of Bone Shaper Shinnok, and the second one because he actually makes sure that nobody will ever crit this Elder God. After all, he is not one of the healthiest Elder Gods in the game. Okay guys, Bone Shaper Shinnok, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Please let me know in the comments. Once again, he scored 59.7 and we labeled him as a kind of good character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. And if you want to know which is the next on-demand review, you can find the list in the description of this video. See you next time guys. Take care.
Excellent. Perfect.